Good night. Welcome to my humble waffle, aka I should be asleep, but I did not post anything today. So, yeah, we're gonna talk about books. I haven't done that. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't think I can get this in like between. That's fine. I think that is fine. Okay, yeah, I can do that. We are here to talk about books. I have no script for this video. I'm just gonna talk about a few categories, and that's the books I've read and the books I've been reading. Basically, I've been aspiring to read around 100 pages a day, which adds up to around 3 hours. Am I consistent? Hell nah. but also, and it happened because something opened my eyes. The enemy being the annotated version of Nabokov's Lolita, just because it's summer right now and I've ended school and I thought I will be able to read more. No. Lolita by itself is around 250-300 pages. The annotated version is around 700. Let's just say I got humbled deeply. This is one of my longer books I've read. But it's also not the longest. The longest I've read is 800 pages. But it was a fan fiction, so it's not surprising that classic literature would not do me as well as a fan fiction written by a 20-year-old on their work breaks. So, as I got humbled by classic literature once again, I gave myself a top 10, except it's not a 10, because I've already read some, books that could help me at least a little bit to read more classic literature, just because there is a certain enemy called The Idiot by Fyodor Dostoevsky that I nicely asked my parents for Christmas almost 2 years ago, or like a year ago, and I have not touched it once. So, yeah, I'm afraid they are quite disappointed in me, or at least I'm at least disappointed in myself. So, I've prepared a certain few books that work as a boot camp. Technically not. Technically yes. We'll know. Okay, so first on the chopping block is Nietzsche, Use and Abuse of History for Life. Nietzsche is really something. He is a person that I aspired to be, but then when I read his work / snippets of his work, I realized I don't have to go far because we're already here. I often see on social media posts of sorts that are like someone saying they can understand them, but the original poster says, no, the only person that ever understood me died how many years ago? I wouldn't say that. I would say I'm pretty understandable in sorts. Yeah, but reading Nietzsche helps me to be understood, which is an important feeling, apparently. And yeah, I'm so far 70% in. And it is a shorter book. It is 63 pages, which is doable. I've been reading this I've had this for 2 weeks, but actively reading this only 3 days. So far so good. I'm gonna probably finish it today. At least I'm aspiring to. And I do not have much to say so far, which I'll be doing a deeper dive / a review on my Substack down in the Dropbox. But except that it is a food for thought. That's what I will say so far. Now, as far as Nabokov is one of my favorite authors of all time, he is also one of my greatest enemies, just because purely of how many times I got humbled by Lolita. We've got a shorter work of his, around 300-400 pages, which is Despair. So far, 12% in. I've read it this morning, and I have no notes, except it is enjoyable. The first few chapters, at least the first chapter, takes place in my home country, in Prague, which is a capital of my home country. So I was pleasantly surprised to see such a small baby of Europe being mentioned. So shout out to Czech Republic, and shout out to all people from Czech Republic watching this. So that was quite nice. I mentioned my home country, and also it reminds me of really old movies that my parents watch for some reason. And now the next two are a little bit harder because they are sort of studies or a study report, study documents, and those two are How to Become Schizophrenic and Holy Anorexia. How to Become a Schizophrenic by John Murdo and Holy Anorexia by Rudolph M. and Bell. Excuse me. About How to Become a Schizophrenic, I cannot say much because I just got through the foreword and I was like, no, I'm gonna finish some fiction first before reading something like this. And something similar goes for Holy Anorexia. Holy Anorexia, at least the name of the book, has been in my life for the last year and a half. Shout out to my Instagram sticker I made. I used it quite a lot. That's the only thing I have to say about this. Also, if you are wondering why I'm looking down, I have my Kindle here. And speaking of the Kindle, here is our greatest enemy called the Annotated Lolita. I am not going to elaborate today. No, I am not going to. And also, the last one, or at least the last two, I would like to mention in this category are Holy Bible and Gay Girl Prayers. Holy Bible, the Holy Bible, over 2,000 pages, at least as it says here. Or was it 6,000 or 2,000 pages? I don't know so far. I don't even want to know. I believe I do not want to know. Yeah, it is 6,000. It is 6,000 pages. Or 6, yes. I think it's 6,000 pages. No. We are doing 500 by the end of the summer. Nothing more. And also because it is a difficult read for me. I was not raised religious, and no. I have few controversial takes that I will gladly elaborate on later on, but not right now. Really not right now. Yeah, but speaking of the difficulty for me of reading this and understanding this is Gay Girl Prayers by Emily Austen. It is one of the first books that I've got comfortable reading, which is insane considering it is poetry, and I have nothing against poetry. I love adding a little bit of spice in my work myself. But from things I've read before, this was digestible. This felt like a salad. And my shitty digestive system enjoyed this. Okay? And also one of the first things I've convinced my friends to read. Basically what I did, I copied the individual poems and sent them to my friend on scheduled messages. Yeah, we are not friends anymore. We are no friends no longer. And right now we have the physical media. I split this into, I think, 2 or 3 categories from the physical books, or subcategories. And the first 2 ones are my current reads. First one, we love a little homosexuality being breaks. I got this gifted by one of my friends. Shout out Sophie, I love you. But yeah, and it is a comic, and it is a bit shorter one, so I'm hopefully gonna use this to get back into reading paperback books, just because purely I've been addicted to my Kindle for the last 3 months. Because I got it in April, and I've been reading nothing else except on my Kindle, so hopefully comics can get me back into reading it, into getting more analog. So purely for this, it's kind of doomed, I would say so far. It is a gift, and it is physical, and it is a comic, and also it is 10 times better than Heartstopper. I have still not recovered from Heartstopper, and I will not. And also the great enemy that has been in my life for the last 3 years. This book specifically, as you can see, because I tried reading the non-annotated version on my Kindle. Tried reading the annotated version, bigger no. Hell no. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just reading this and annotating it paragraph by paragraph. We'll see about that. I'm about, 50 pages in of annotating? Maybe. Yeah, but considering it's on like 320 pages, I think I can do it pretty well. Again, I will update on this. Then, okay, moving forward, I don't have much to say about my physical books. A bit of a stronger theme is the 2 books that taught me how to live. As you can see from the back, I'm gonna elaborate. We've got Grand Pieces. It is a thicker one, considering it is in fact like around 500 pages, maybe 400. It's pretty thick. I don't know. I've read this in like 4 nights. This got me back into reading after 6 months of not reading anything, and that was before I got my Kindle. I do not like the way they show self-harm, and that's just because my experience is so different from Charlie's. Yes, Charlie's. There's so many Charlies out there. Shout out to all of them. Yeah. Her experience is so different, yet not so much. But yeah, I still think the cover is truly beautiful. I got this book secondhand, and yeah, it's pretty. But I do love how she came back, because after she was released from the psych ward, I love how she came back into her life. It really showed me that you can really come back from anything and still function. And the other book, it is a bit of a short story. It's Days in the Morisaki Bookshop. This book is a bridge. It is a short bridge or a thin bridge, but I really love it. It taught me how pretty everyday things are. And also got me into Japanese literature. I mean, one more thing got me into Japanese literature, which I will speak of in 5 more minutes before I finish talking about this. Because as you can see, I got this basically a year ago. Literally a year ago. It has been well loved. It has been read through by both me and my mom. My mom is not a reader. I'm big on humanities and really human art, things like that, humanities. And my mom, she's a math person. She literally works in finance. Is this doxing? No. My mom, she works in finances, and that explains her whole personality. But even she read this. This is one of my biggest recommendations, because if she read that and liked it, everyone can like this. I mean, it has love, but it is not love-centered. Specifically, not romantic love-centered. I don't remember her name. Oh my god, what's her name, darling? Okay, I don't remember her name, but the main character, the main female protagonist, she loves. She loves a lot, and I love her a lot, and it taught me how to love a lot. And also the beauty of everyday things. That's something that I love about Japan. It's simple, and I hate my hometown, but it taught me how to love my hometown. So that's a very big thing for me. And if we look inside once more, if I can find it. There's 2 names highlighted. Probably one of the only passages highlighted in the whole book. And that is Ogai Mori and Junichiro Tanizaki. And later on, Oda Sakosuke. Classic Japanese literature. Speaking of, I've waited for so long to talk about this, but I got the first 2 volumes of Bungo Stray Dogs. I've read and also honorable mention to my copy of Schoolgirl by Osamu Dazai. Such a big honorable mention. I've read the main manga twice, seen the anime multiple times. I'm a hardcore Bungo Stray Dogs fan. Behind me. Like, really hardcore. I'm a cosplayer. I live by it, I would say, at this point. Purely at this point. And yes, I got this in Germany. I think I got this in Berlin. And they are in German. I've had German in school, and also those are the first 2 volumes. I've had German in school. I currently have my textbook, or like my notebook, right here, and I will still use it this summer. But basically, it's a language that I love. I really love Dresden. This is how you say it in English. Drážďany in my language. I love that city. We could say this is a city. Yeah. And I really want to learn the language. In 2 weeks, I'm going back there again for the almost 4th year in a row. So let's see how that goes for me. And also honorable mention to, once again, Schoolgirl. Even just by the picture. I saw this and I was like, yeah, let's have it. Let's just go for it. Okay, for the record, while I consider myself to be a trans masculine, I'm not masculine person, but I'm a trans boy. I go by he, him, my name is Ethan. You get the idea. But at the at the inside of my heart, I'm, you know, these labels as thought daughter, sad girl. That's gotta be me forever. That's why I keep my hair long. That's the way my room is colorful. Colorful. That's why I love pink. It's just a bit, femininity is just a big part of me. What a strange way to say I'm a fanboy. Yeah, but basically, this explores the inner thoughts of a teenage girl, and I cannot wait to read this. And it really reminds me of Victoria Spring / Story from Heartstopper. Speaking of Heartstopper, again, like, I never liked that series, but I will forever be haunted by it. That's what you do, being a queer teenager in the early 2010s, or late 2010s, let's just say that. 2019, 2020, 2021. So yeah, we have a bit of a stack here. Ooh. Yeah. Here's a stack. There's a bit of it. So that's my little waffle. Again, my substack along with most of my socials are gonna be in the Dropbox. I post almost every day. And I'll see you in the next one. Once again, I will not be able to sleep. Almost always. And I will have something smart to say. Mwah. Love you.